Hi, and thank you for joining me today for this video all about Beltane. So if you don't know, if this is your first time seeing me, I am Imogen and this is my channel. You're very welcome to be here, and here I like to talk about all my many interests, including spirituality, pagan rituals, mythology, astrology, and anything along those lines, everything and anything pretty much. So today is Thursday the 27th of April 2023, and on Monday it'll be the 1st of May, and the 1st of May is Beltane, which is one of the pagan Wheel of the Year festivals. We have 8 throughout the year, roughly every 6 weeks, and this is the one that is halfway between spring equinox and summer solstice. So it's welcoming in the very beginning of the summer and changing from spring into summer, which is one of my favourite times of year. So for all the Wheel of the Year celebrations, I have workbooks on my Etsy shop. And I have my Beltane one here, which I pretty much was able to print out, and then on the last page, which is the front cover, I ran out of ink. So you can't see that page, but you can see the rest. So yes, these are all in my shop. If you're not sure what the Wheel of the Year is, I do have a video that just explains the Wheel of the Year and the traditions around it and where it comes from, because I am really interested in traditional Celtic mythology and rituals, and a lot of it comes from the Celtic tradition, although not all of it. I love to follow these rituals because it's a way of tuning into nature, into the seasons, and following the energetic ebbs and flows of the natural world, and because I like celebrating things. So, you know, a celebration every 6 weeks really enthuses me to life. I keep having to stop this morning because Mercury is retrograding all over me today and things keep going ever so slightly wrong, but it's manageable, so we'll carry on. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Beltane first of all, and then I'm just going to show you a couple of the bits that I will do. Obviously it's not Beltane yet for a few days, so any major rituals I'll be doing at the weekend, but I'll talk you through those as well, and I will show you some of the stuff that I'll do before. So the celebrations we now have as May Day are thought to have their roots in the Celtic tradition of Beltane, and May Day is the closest Monday to the 1st of May. This year happens to be the 1st of May, which is pretty cool. So in the UK we all have a day off. A lot of the Celtic Wheel of the Year festivals have agricultural significance, and the word Beltane comes from the words meaning fires of Bel, and Bel was a Celtic deity, and this celebration was to call in a fruitful and successful summer in terms of farming and agriculture. And the fire was to purify and cleanse the cattle and to represent fertility as well. Rituals at this time will go along that vein, in that they are to do with fertility and sex and purification. The tradition of maypole dancing also is said to have come from these fertility rituals. I'll let you work out the significance of the symbols of the maypole and the dancers. And Beltane is opposite in the Wheel of the Year to Samhain, which is the Halloween festival, and so it's said to be another time when the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead, or the unseen, is at its thinnest, and so it's a great time to communicate with spirit or spirits and fairies, the fae, or any other kind of otherworldly beings that call to you. With this being a fertility festival, it's a great time to think about the relationships in your life, the couplings that you have. This was the time where the god and the goddess unite, and so it's a fun time to celebrate if you have relationships, or even the duality of the masculine, feminine, or the god and goddess within yourself. The bonfires could be seen as representing the fire and passion within ourselves. Also, there's new life all around, as if the world is coming to its own fruition and fertility. The leaves are coming into full bloom on the trees, the flowers are starting to bloom, and the world around us is really full of life compared to how it was a few months ago, especially at Imbolc, even at Astara, which didn't seem like that long ago really. So as the days become longer and lighter, it's the perfect time to be outdoors more, spend time in your garden, and plan for the future of the summer and how you'll spend it in your garden, planting, or even just being outdoors or going on holiday. And the purification symbol comes from the cattle being walked through the Beltane fires in an attempt to purify them, ready for the season ahead. So you can consider and think about the significance of purity and where that might come into your life too. Some rituals which we can do, and I'm going to do. First of all, placing flowers throughout your home where you can, and if you create a Beltane altar, make sure you've got fresh flowers on it, fresh spring flowers, colourful ones, probably tulips, roses, anything that's bright and makes you feel sunshiny and happy. Also, a red candle for passion and a white candle for purity. If you've ever seen those flower bomb things with seeds in like a ball, they're a great thing, and you can just throw them and it scatters wildflowers. They're a really great thing to do for Beltane. Leave offerings of fruits, cakes, flowers and crystals for the fairies. Research about fairies, read about them and communicate with them. I have multiple fairy inspired oracle card decks, for example this one, and it would be a great time to do a fairy oracle reading because the fairies are closer to our world on this day. You could find a maypole dance celebration, which they don't seem to be as common as they were when I was a kid, but I have also seen crafts where you can make little tiny maypoles as well and put those on your altar, and I haven't made one, but it might be something I'll look into doing over the weekend. And host a bonfire, have a fire, set fires to things in your garden as safely as possible, and consider the themes of the passion and the purity as well. It's a time to start thinking about socialising more. We're coming out of the cold season still and into the warmer, brighter season, so spend time with family and friends, socialise and have fun and party. Start the summer as you mean to go on, with people that make you happy, make you smile, and having fun. So here's a little tip for you. Excuse the sound, I've not got my mic on, but I've just been out and bought some candles for my altar. I'm just making an altar, a Beltane altar. However, there has been times in the past where I've needed a particular colour candle, and I happen to have just a box full of leftover birthday candles. They work really well. They're always around and they have every single colour going, so that's a really good option if you don't have a chance to go and buy some, or you don't want to spend any more money. It works perfectly well. just set up my Beltane altar. I decided to do it in the kitchen because that's where fire is. So there's my tulips looking all summery and springy. I have a lot of crystals. I also have red and white candles. And Aphrodite, who is my go-to girl for all things relationships, love and passion. And crystal-wise, I went for clear quartz for purity and these red jaspers for passion and root chakra. Rose quartz for relationships as well. I love this little lotus flower. And that's pretty much it. But you can make an altar with anything that you have, so just have fun with it. 2 oracle cards for my altar for Beltane. I have Hummingbird Spirit from the Sacred Forest Oracle, and I have Initiate from the fairy one that I showed you earlier, which says curiosity, open and warm, which I just love, especially for this time of year.